person. This will probably be the happiest part of this episode. He's the one person that he loves Marvel like I do, and we neither one may at some random time have anyone to go to the movies with us to see a Marvel movie. And
y'all still Marvel dates?
We still Marvel dates. Yo, that's my homie, and I saw him with and
Is he married?
No.
He's single?
Hell no, his wife wouldn't be letting him go on a Marvel date with somebody
right.
But it's gonna be the two of them and her. Come on.
There's people like my 21st birthday, he took me out for lunch.
Right.
Or just off the strength, we had bumped into, he worked around the corner at the nursing home from my house. And we bumped into each other. And he was like, what you up to? I was like, my birthday in a couple of days. He's like, yo, I'm going to take you to lunch on my next day. And we hung out, and we've always been that cool. And we may not see each other all the time, but Marvel movie come out, like the text is on Facebook, like, yo, what's cracking?
I got a quick
question. I know you and your son going to see it, but you know we got to see it. And it's random. Like I got off of work one night at 6:00. He's like, yo, I could be down at Spring Garden by 6:30. The movie started at 7. Boom, I meet you there. Picked him up at the train station, drove down to the riverfront, and we had a ball. But that's just people.
It's just right. It's just that.
Plain old good people.
Quick question for the
Marvel
world.
Boo. It's your Marvel Boo.
Quick question for the world. Have y'all ever bumped nasties?
No.
Thank you. I'm glad you said that, because that shows that males and females can
be friends and when you talk about years. Marvel, it's not bumping nasties.
Thank you.
No, it's not bumping nasties when you talk about Marvel. It's exploring each other's inner mutant.
No, it's not. That's when you're talking about X-Men. It's about exploring everyone's internal universe.
I was about to say universe. Yes.
The N69 CU. Yep. Without listen.
With no shield.
And I said, look, seriously,
with no shield, no armor.
Thought he had this one on, and I was like, yo, I need that.
Let me get that.
I thought he was like, yo, my people's at work make it. I'll grab you one. I thought he was grabbing me one.
It was the only way it got weird is if you asked him. Only way it got weird if you asked him if he had it in panties.
Well, I wasn't going to ask that.
All right.
I wasn't going to ask that.
All right.
Does your mask match your panties?
Oh my God. You know what? They doing that now too.
Yo, Victoria, y'all need to go ahead and make them matching, broad panty and mask sets.
Then it wouldn't be a secret. Check it out. All right. Here we go. Without
that's
further
to keep it secret.
I'm not even.
Without further ado.
Yeah.
I had to get my smiles in now.
Yeah.
Yo.
First thing I Just that opening line right there. You know we had a rocket go up yesterday. This ain't living. No.
It's a vibe, baby. Rest in peace, George Floyd.
Rest in peace, George Floyd.
Jesus Christ. We here, man. It's a little somber today. We got some shit we gotta talk about.
Whew. This episode today.
That's some shit we gotta talk about. Hold up. Oh, let it go. Let it go. Let it go for a second. They might even be hearing an echo in this. I got two sources playing. I got it directly to the headphone, and I got it playing from the external. I don't care. You can hear it more than once. Just listen. I love the echo sound too. If it's an echo, you got a vibe.
I hear a little piece with it.
Shit ain't gonna change unless we change it, people. Oh, you ain't know? This ain't a lie. The revolution will be televised.
Yes, indeed.
It's being televised.
It's being televised right now in our lives. We witnessing this.
Oh, you witnessed it.
I just posted a video. Bill Scott Heron passed in 2013, and at that time my son was doing a show at Freedom Theater, and at that time we had a lot of musical celebrities pass away: Whitney Houston, Etta James, Gil Scott Heron, a few others. And so they had the children, and he had to be about 7, 8 years old, maybe 6 or 7.
Right.
During that time.
Mm-hmm.
And so they had the little kids dress up as these different singers that passed. And my son, who before she even said it, I knew was going to be Gil Scott Heron.
Right.
And he had to memorize a portion of The Revolution Will Not Be Televised. And happened to find that video. So I definitely posted that video to give a happy and a realistic aspect of we're here in the middle of the revolution, and it's not going to be televised. It's going to be live, which we watched that man die live in real time.
Yes. And
then I actually posted, Gil Scott Heron's full, complete version of The Revolution Will Not Be Televised. So it's just, it's crazy because unless we find a way to end it now, my son will be dealing with this in 10 more years, 15 more years.
I guarantee you your son is going to be dealing with it. Your grandkids,
right.
A lot of them be dealing with it. Let me introduce the show. The show. Welcome back. Welcome back.
Like his nose. Like his nose. This is the motherfucking Scottie Pippen 33rd episode, people.
Yes, it
this
is.
This is the motherfucking 33rd. Like his nose, Scottie Pippen.
Episode 33. Episode 33 of the Mr. Know-It-All podcast.
Let's get it.
I am your host, Mr. Know-It-All. AKA Keith Saunders.
Talk to him.
BKA Michael Voorhees.
What else?
And AKA Haku, if you want to be rapper about it.
Spit hot fire.
Dylan. As you can see, Kelly Q is in her bag today. I want to, give a shout out definitely to my co-host here next to me, making all the noise, trying to stay cheerful in this whole thing, and introduce yourself, player.
Yeah, your boy R. Ruffy Hendricks is in the building, aka Rough Rider, aka Mr. I'm Going in the General, point blank period, aka I am Ruffy Hendricks, the mouth of the South.
And
trying to bring some energy. We gotta
get absolutely.
A little good, because we about to go deep.
It's gonna be energy.
We about to go deep dog shit.
Below us on the Zoom screen, we hoping it's the last week of this Zoom shit. Week or so. It all depends. We'll see what it looks like. You want to introduce yourself today? I don't think she got Kelly Q on the thing, but it's also she changed her name on social media to George Floyd, which is a challenge that they're observing right now. That's something that's going
I should have switched mine to Brandon T.
It was my idea, so if anybody else does it.
Yes,
right,
Kelly,
right.
Okay. It was Kelly's idea.
And the thing about it is, like, when you change your name on Facebook now, before I used to be able to change my name like every other week. So I used to, me and my girlfriend used to love celebrities, so my name used to be Kelly Quentin Underwood, and she put Kravitz, But now you have you can't change your name for another
like
60
days. Yeah.
Right.
I don't even know if they're gonna let me change my shit like that.
So
who knows, man? I have no idea.
If anyone is able to change their name on Facebook to George Floyd or one of the numerous other people that have other people that have been wrongly
murdered, yes,
assassinated
in front of the country, that name will be your name for 2 months, basically.
Yeah.
And that's a good way, because once this all dies down, then what? We can't forget their names. We can't forget why this is going on right now.
And the crazy thing is what you're saying, that Philly, my nephew, and Keith, you recall this, Brandon Tate Brown. This happened here in Philadelphia.
Bro, I forgot about that. I forgot about that.
Day after Christmas.
I almost forgot about that.
You know, and he was driving the rental car.
Driving the rental car for a company he worked for.
That he worked for, that he was actually purchasing.
Yeah.
Hadn't even quite pulled off, but because his lights wasn't on and he got back in the car, they rolled up on him and ultimately took his life. And we're gonna be honest. My nephew kept a hammer, but my nephew was also smart enough that he kept it in a book bag in the trunk. They tried to say that he tried to go back in the car to reach for it because it was in the car. There was no way, even if they got him out of the car, that they wouldn't have seen it.
Full disclosure, he actually let them inform them of what he had.
Yes.
And that was the whole point.
And he told them.
They asked him to step out of the vehicle, and he was shot to death because he stepped out of the vehicle on Frankfurt fucking Avenue. Oh, this is gonna be the type of let me just please
we didn't even get to my introduction.
Go ahead and introduce
yes.
You know what I mean? Introduce the podcast and do shout out to the Spotify listeners, our Apple Podcast listeners, Google Podcast listeners, Stitcher listeners, the home team, Anchor listeners. Thank you for all you do. YouTube viewers.
Got y'all in the back. Yeah, we in the back. Y'all see it? Y'all see it? We on the tube.
That's that's good shit. Yeah. That's good shit.
Yeah. I'm about to say that's not now. Yeah, no, that's definitely an old one.
Yeah. I think that's
I see. No, that's a couple of episodes back because I got scarf on my head.
I think that might be like 28.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay. Yeah, shout out. Definitely catch us. Follow us on Instagram, Mr._KnowItAll_pod. That's on Instagram. Follow us on the Mr. Know-It-All podcast fan page on Facebook. And please send us all of your, I'm pretty sure you got a lot of fuckery that you want to talk about. You want to talk about this police brutality or this police mass murdering shit that's going on. Please send stories and accounts and all that over to Mr. Know-It-All-Pod at gmail.com. That's Mr. Know-It-All-Pod at gmail.com. This will be an ongoing discussion.
Yes.
We probably won't get as deep into it today as we will. I mean, every other day is today.
We're going to get deeper in this shit.
Yeah.
Just know we digging deep.
I think next week you should have Cousin on.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah, we're gonna have some people. And that's why I'm ready to open this back up because I want to get people down here and whatnot because we got shit that we got to talk about.
But you know, your sister want to speak on this shit too.
I talked to Drew. I talked to Drew yesterday.
She want to talk about this shit.
Oh, she want to talk. Yeah.
And you got to think about her aspect.
Right.
From now technically, her former occupation, but now retired occupation.
Right, retired occupation. Yeah, that. You know what? That would be a good thing to have. A former officer come in and actually talk about it. We're gonna go round robin with all this. Yeah. This is just.
I mean, you have his wife being a former officer, your cousin being ex-military, dealing with Caucasian people, me being corporate and having to deal with what I have to deal with, and something my girlfriends posted and I had it on my time hop and reposted is just that everybody not your friend.
Yeah. Let me finish. Let me get started because I'm telling y'all I have on the docket today, I have George Floyd situation just big and the rest of it is just we'll talk. We're going to talk. That's exactly how it goes.
Results. Right. Cause and effect.
We normally start off the show with a useless fact. This is a useful fact. This is a very, very useful fact. And if you're black in this country and you don't understand it, I'm going to explain this to you right now. In 1968, the Fair Housing Act was the last legislature signed into effect that completed the movement of civil rights. 1968. That was the last thing that was signed into effect. So everything else, we've been on our own since. That's it. 1968. That put a stamp on it. Everything else, there's been no.
Kelly, you was just born, right? Kelly, you
Huh?
was just no. I'm sorry. That's 68. My bad. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I'm sorry. I'm
1968.
sorry. I'm sorry. No, because you gave me a whole.
But I was about to say that was only 8 years before I was born. Up.
Right.
That's only 8 years before I was born. I mean, it's the Civil Rights Act of 1964.
Yes, yeah, not right, right. And then
my mother was born in 52.
My mother was born in 65. My mother was born in 65.
So I mean, my mother, my aunts, my uncles, none of them, they were teen.
Kids. But to
be to teen.
It's 2020. And what I'm saying is that this is the last legislature that basically said this is the last. To me, at the end of the day, this is the last one that actually gave a fuck about what was going on with civil rights. They felt like the playing field became even leveled at them.
The kicker is not too long ago they had to re-sign it.
Ain't that some shit? Of course.
And I was trying to look it up so I can have information to back this up to find out when they re-signed it. But I believe it was during the Bush administration.
Right.
But the fact is, you had to re-sign it.
You know why though, Kelly? Because it's an act, not a law.
Right.
It's an act, not a law. Laws you don't have to re-sign.
So at any given time.
They want to pull the plug? Yep. You want to pull the plug? All right. My whole thing is, all right, so I said that. Give me 2 seconds to say this. Let me ask you a question, and I want to say this. I have white friends, I have Latina friends, I have friends of all races, colors and creeds and personalities and stuff like that. And I think this is more narrow to the ones that have discriminated against us, that have murdered us, that have tortured our way of living, that have persecuted us in every possible way and continue to still do so. What did we ever do to you? What did we ever do to you? And the reason why I bring that up is that because you know what I can remember? You know what I can account? Even learning from history books? In 1619, you kidnapped a mass population of us and brought us over here against our will.
Yep.
In 1619.
Yep.
In 1793, you left us in charge of probably one of the biggest business aspects of it that we were working for free for, the cotton business, the cotton gin. We were doing all that shit single-handedly. You forced us into this labor. Mm-hmm. We tried to escape it in 1831. Nat Turner and Harriet Tubman began a movement to get us out of Dodge. All of this, we still not fucking doing nothing to you. We didn't ask for that. We didn't ask for none of this. Okay?
We next to be
1861. Abraham Lincoln signed the Emancipation Proclamation, which essentially freed us on paper. But some didn't agree with that. Some didn't agree with it. So they fought tooth and nail against it, ergo, a civil fucking war. Because you want to control a group of fucking people that did nothing to you. Ever. You came over to our land, kidnapped us, defamed our fucking monuments, and kidnapped us. Why? Until now, everybody's supposed to be free. We're over here, majority of us, we're descendants of people that came over here against our free will, and we are still being tortured, persecuted, crucified, and murdered by the same type of people. Why? Why? What did we do to you? What did we do to you?
I feel you from the crown of my head to the tip of my toes, back to my heel. Because listen, the sad thing, that picture I put up the other day, of the black guy with a white cop on one side of him and a nigga on the other side. Both of them had guns to his head. Both of them saying, I hate you.
Nigger and nigga.
Yep.
Our women go through it because they have to pick up the pieces nowadays. Well, we don't
we the
speak.
ones left behind when they do something to you.
Here's something that we keep forgetting to speak on. In the slave days, our women were raped.
Mm-hmm.
That's why that's where so many of the light-skinned, quote unquote, or the mixed children started from.
Mulattoes, yep.
What did we do to deserve that though?
We existed.
We're not even liked by the ones who didn't get caught.
Yeah, you ever had somebody that just don't like you, or you just don't like somebody and you don't know why you don't like them, but it's just something? It's our very existence. It's our very existence of how we were kings and queens on our own right. We were kings and queens. We are descendants from kings and queens from the continent.
Okay, right.
Okay.
Right, absolutely.
We had our own way of eating. We had our own way of praying. We had our own way of living that we had done for many, 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 many moons before we even knew what a white man was.
How about we were the beginning?
Right.
The beginning
How about we were the
of it
beginning?
all.
How are exactly?
The beginning of it all.
So
we were the beginning.
So
you come and I feel as if it's like a Cain type of situation.
Is this a 400-year case of penis envy?
Yeah.
This is ridiculous. Yeah. This is ridiculous.
I really wouldn't.
For those that are under a rock somewhere. I don't even know where to start
with it. I was blessed to go to a private school, an African American private school, to where we actually had the opportunity to learn history.
Yeah.
And when we had history class, history covered everything that made America America. We never had a Black history class. There was never need for a Black history class because Mr. and Mrs. Green, history included all of us.
History included all of us. Right.
Right. And it's like, when we get to my segment time, we'll discuss where some of this is going. But they try to say, we only get 1 month for African American History Month. No, you only get you only get 1 month for Black History Month. Black History Month is every day 365 for us because that is just our history. There's no segmentation of it. It's because how we got here. And
we didn't just make history in February, goddammit.
Exactly. And some of this knowledge that people are lacking could be overcome if history was just taught, compiled, not just Christopher Columbus, not Amerigo Vespucci, not Pocahontas, everything. Yeah. Everything. You just can't teach the white names. I'm trying to feel a good way to say it, but you can't just teach the white names and then 1 month teach about Martin Luther King, Rosa Parks, and Malcolm X.
Right. Yeah.
You talking
about George Washington Carver and the Peanut? You can't you can't take 5 names and just put that into the month, and that's who they should know. They should know Garrett Morgan. They should know George Washington Carver, in addition to the other names that we know.
They should know Crispus Attucks. Yeah. You know what I mean? You should know people. This is what I'm saying. Before we, all right. Let me just put this off a base, right? If you're under a rock somewhere, because at the end of the day, it would be irresponsible for us at the Mr. Know-It-All podcast to just start talking without, giving some sort of formula about what's happening. Last week, I don't know if we covered it. We talked about it. I doubt that we did because we would have been up and on at the time. A man named George Floyd was being detained by an officer. I'm not even.
He was executed.
They whipped his ass. They whipped his ass in the van. I mean, in the back of the SUV.
They whipped his ass in the back of the SUV. If y'all haven't seen that new video, I think I sent that to the group joint as well.
No, yeah, I see that.
They whipped his ass inside the SUV,
the van,
right,
and then pulled him out. And pretty much, it was not just it was the one who had his knee on his neck, but there was 2 other officers who had their knees on his body as well.
Essentially, this man was executed because the officer that decided to detain him, the one that you see all over the news everywhere, decided that he wanted to leave his knee in the back of his neck. Even as he screamed, he could not breathe. Even as he said he was dying. Even as he was called for his dead mother. And you still sat there. And
with your hands in your pocket.
Hands in your pocket and leaned that knee on the back of the unconscious dead man's neck for over 9 minutes. That, my friends, is an execution.
A public execution.
A live public execution. Because the young woman, I believe she was a teenager.
She was 17 years old.
Young lady that, I mean, and she did what she could. She videoed that. And I'm going to give it to her because to be able to stand there and video that, and I know she's screaming because I can only watch but so much.
Yeah. And
some people are like, well, why didn't she help? What was she going to do? What was she going to do?
She did exactly what she needed.
She did is that if that was my daughter, she got the video out there.
Right.
Like this man will be, if they don't get him legally, somebody might get him illegally.
But we keep saying that though. We keep saying that.
We pussy.
We keep saying that.
And see, this is what I'm talking about.
So I can understand.
Like my serious thing is, I'm really surprised. I am totally 100% surprised that the man that murdered Trayvon Martin is still walking.
No,
I don't understand it.
Me too.
Listen, I thought when he went to jail, it was over. I thought it was a wrap.
No.
I thought it was a wrap.
This is the problem that I had. This is the problem that we have.
Not that we're condoning murder in any way.
I'm not condoning society and whatnot, but I tell you what, George Zimmerman is walking the streets, but Tekashi 6ix9ine, don't leave him alone for 2 seconds. This is the reason why we pussy. Because street justice has this thing where it's going to handle itself. You know what I'm saying? It'll take care of itself. And our persecutors understand that. But don't let it be somebody that's a member of the system because he's protected now. He had 150 officers outside of his fucking house for 3 days in a row.
Yeah.
They couldn't stop the rioting and shit like that when it first started because all the officers were protecting him before they had decided to prosecute him.
But that wife said she out. She like,
said, and then we find out that the Asian wife is the Asian sister of the Asian cop that was standing there while they took this black man's life. Oh, how the fucking plot thickens. The plot thickens, man. And my thing is that I don't give a shit what goes on with like, to be honest with you, burn that motherfucker to the ground. I give a shit less because now I'm at a point where I'm fed. We are hearing about this more and more and more often, over and over and over and over and over again. We just talked about two crackers hopping out on this black man jogging and killing him.
And then this happened in February.
Right, yep. And you saw me send me another video where he was out minding his business. The same man that got killed, minding his business, and the cops were harassing him at that time.
How about the guy?
What's his name? What was his name? Odin? No. What the hell was his name? That's another man.
Yo, it's been several. It's been several because a day, maybe 2 days after Floyd incident, I sent you another video of a black man in Minnesota. They didn't kill him. I don't believe he got killed.
Was that the other one in the back of the car? Because there was another one that was in the back of the car.
No, that's a whole nother situation. Shit, you see the motherfucking white guy who fucked around? They was wrestling him inside the joint, and he beat the female joint with her stick, beat the bell, and then took a state trooper's car. But then a black man is in his yard, and they're beating his ass, complaining, and his lady is telling him he has a spinal injury.
Yep.
He just had spinal surgery.
Well, look, this is part of what we're discussing. We can't go jogging.
Yep, can't go jogging.
Ahmaud Arbery.
Man, they asked if you were safe if you came back when you said you went jogging, Keith.
Yo, I would, while I'm watching you jog in the video, I'm like, take the hood off. Just like it's just, and it's not that he should have to take the hood off, but just as his sister is just like,
but listen,
I need him to come home to those trees.
Listen, it sucks because I understand what it's like to want to have that freeness. I love to get out there. I love to go jogging out there in the fresh air and shit like that and listen to my music and vibe out. No, believe it or not, yesterday was prime black man time. You know what I'm saying? You get a wave from every white person you running past. Hey, buddy, how you doing? You know what I'm saying? I'm like, yeah. And honestly, that's what the vibe was on. So I wasn't too much worried about that. But keep going, Kelly, please.
Yeah, so we can't relax in the comfort of our own homes. Botham Jean and Atiana Jefferson.
Botham Jean was executed on his fucking couch in the locked security of his home. See, that's when this shit should have started. This shit should have started then. This white lady kicked in the door of his apartment and shot him in the chest, 3 times?
Something like that.
Murdered that man on his own couch. Are you fucking kidding me?
Killed while watching Martin. That's some fucked up shit.
God.
We can't ask for help after being in a car crash. Jonathan Farrell and Renisha McBride. We can't have a cell phone. Stephon Clark. We can't leave a party to get safety. Jordan Edwards. We can't play loud music. Jordan Davis. We can't sell CDs. Alton Sterling. We can't sleep. Aiyana Jones. We can't walk to the corner store. Mike Brown. We can't play cops and robbers. This is the one that hurts all the time. Tamir Rice. Because that was a baby who had semi-challenges.
Yeah.
Okay? We can't go to church. There's 9 people. This is one that this one pisses me off all the time just thinking about it because he sat there with them. And when service was over, he killed them. And then
that's when they took the lunch.
They gently walked him out.
Ain't that the one they took the lunch before they took him to the precinct?
No, I don't think so, but still.
Please keep going. Please keep going.
We can't walk home with Skittles. Trayvon. Can't
wait. Stop right there. I want, at the time, let me tell you something about Trayvon Martin. It took me a year to start to understand the impact of what was going on with Trayvon Martin. I will never sit up here and lie on the Mr. KnowItAll podcast and say that I didn't suffer from some form of naivete. The pictures that we received of Trayvon Martin, and I can understand it, were different than what Trayvon Martin looked like. He was, it's like Kelly. When I see pictures of your son, you show us pictures of your son when he's younger. Your son now is a young man. It's like me. My son is 6'3". If I show pictures of him littler, and so one thing that I do say is that I say this, I give this, and I hated for it to sound this way because it sounds as if that I was victim shaming, and it's not. I was saying that there are times when we from the hood, you know what I'm saying? And if I see me in the middle of the night walking down the block, sometimes, you know what I'm saying, I'm on guard. You know what I'm saying? So what happens is that not knowing the intricate details of it and not understanding that this man was out for blood and his true colors came out after the trial because of everything that he did.
Well, the thing with Trayvon, first of all, like you said, when I have certain pictures of my child, my child likes to wear his hair all nappy naughty like these kids. So those are not the pictures I post social media, but you guys see him in the group, right? You see him in the group, so everyone knows what he looks like now.
Yeah.
But the thing with Trayvon Martin, no matter if he had a hood on his head and he had all black on, he lived in a gated community.
Right. And
he lived in a gated community.
Yeah.
And the man, because I will never say his name if I can help it, the man that killed him was on the phone with the police.
Yeah, he was.
And the police was telling him to stand down.
Right.
Where are you now? Stay there. We're on our way.
Right.
Stay put. Don't interact.
And for you to chase me
And you,
for you to chased
him down and shot him in cold blood.
Yeah.
Is what you did.
You know what happened too? What he said happened, and that's what happened. This 17-year-old boy trashed you, and then your pride was hurt because you approached him and was basically trying to bully him out of that portion of the neighborhood, and you put your hands on him, and he turned around and dicked your boots. That's what happened. He turned around and tuned you the fuck up, and you was like, yo, what the fuck? Like he tuned you up. You wasn't ready for the hands that he had, and you got up and you shot him in his chest.
Mm-hmm.
And it took me so long. Like, I'm embarrassed because it took me so long to really understand that that's what it was.
The gravity of what
happened.
And
then when his true colors started coming out, I said, I'll be goddamn.
His true colors came out the moment he shot that boy.
Yeah, but I'm talking about to just on TV. He started wearing shirts and selling memorabilia of the event. All right, move on. Because that's a whole nother. This motherfucker is. Yeah.
So where were we? We can't hold a hairbrush while leaving our own bachelor party. Sean Bell. Congratulations to his daughter, who just graduated high school.
That's so good. That's so good. And the Sean Bell thing was.
I still remember that.
They said if it was really a gun, that they might not have killed him. I don't even fucking believe that.
I don't want to know.
Because they said if it was really a gun, they said they would have found a way to add to because they said the way that he was moving with it, it's just a whole bunch of shit, man.
Mm-hmm. You're gonna take these guns and give people tasers. Maybe people lived into the next day.
Unreal. Keep going, please.
We can't party on New Year's, Oscar Grant. We can't get a normal traffic ticket, Sandra Bland. We can't lawfully carry a weapon, Philando Castile. We can't break down on a public road with car problems, Corey Jones. We can't shop at Walmart, John Crawford. We can't have a disabled vehicle, Terrence Crutcher. We can't read a book in our own car, Keith Scott. My son, because a couple of weeks ago, I was just like, yo, I need to get out the house, and I found like a sunshine spot in front of my old elementary school, and I was sitting there reading a book.
Right.
And I told my son where I was. Like a couple of days later, he's like, "Don't do that, Mom. Please don't do that." That's for him.
Right.
That was too much. And once I read this list, because I didn't know about Keith Scott, it just like clicked in me. Like that's why he said it, or maybe just in general for safety reasons. Like, you just sitting in the car reading, people can think you doing something. And he, just for safety reasons. So can't be a 10-year-old walking with our grandfather, Clifford Glover. We can't decorate for a party, Claude Reese. We can't ask a cop a question, Randy Evans. We can't cash our check in peace, Yvonne Smallwood. We can't take out our wallet, Amadou Diallo. We can't run, Walter Scott. We can't breathe, Eric Garner. We can't breathe, George Floyd. We can't live, Freddie Gray. Can't write checks, George Floyd again.
Is another one. You can't get out the car with a fucking hoagie. I can't remember his name. This was 05. 04. This was 04 in Philly on Ridge and 26th Street. On Ridge and 26th Street, right across the street from Johnson Homes. Because I was home and I was round the corner and I heard the fucking shots. They shot the boy 7 times. 7 fucking times. Got out the car with a hoagie.
It goes back as far as Emmett Till. What did Emmett Till do? What did Emmett Till do?
Nothing. He was accused of something that he didn't do.
And ironically, it was around the same time that they didn't with the marijuana. They tried to say it made you all crazy. They figured the blacks and the Mexicans had it, and they didn't want the white girls to get it, or get tricked by the devil, by the devil's poison, devil's herb, as they first.
I quickly, because I'm your social media person.
Right.
One of my girlfriends posted, and it rings so fucking true. It's ridiculous. This country was built from looting and destruction and will go down the same way.
This is stolen land. We are built upon looted shit.
I don't even have.
Whose land was this first?
I don't even have.
Whose land was this first?
I don't even have sentences to say. I just have separate quotes of you reap what you sow.
Karma's a bitch, ain't it?
Karma's a bitch.
Listen,
Karma's a bitch.
What goes around comes around.
You give me every cliche you got. Every fucking cliche you got.
Every cliche you could think of factors in here. Factors in here. Because this land, if a white man tells me to go back to your country, I don't know what country to go back to, because when I start looking in my DNA, I have roots in Portugal, I have roots in Africa, and because of you, I have roots in Europe. So where you want me to go back to? But I also, if I have to go back, you need to
take your ass back.
Let me ask you a question.
Because I was born here, just like you were born here.
Can I give a brief synopsis of what I know about the United States of America, just North America in general? Can I go back as far as Pangea? Can I go back as far as Pangea? Yeah,
when we were one.
All right. Essentially, what happened in Pangea is that, stick with me for a second if you don't know, brief history lesson. You know what I mean? I'm not perfect in any way, but one thing that I do know is I can convey a little bit of information that I know. Okay. Pangea, at one point, there was a mass attachment of land. All the land was attached. Much smaller body of water, much smaller. No, much smaller.
The land was all together. The water was spread around.
Right. So it was separate. So
yeah.
No, it was less.
No, it was actually more water.
More water at the time?
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
All right. So
it's the same amount of water, is just spread out.
Yeah, that's what I said. I thought it was less because
it's the same amount of water because we were one.
Right,
we were one. Together,
so okay,
but then we spread out.
Together. The water was together. The land was together.
Gotcha.
Right.
The water together, the land together. They broke apart. They created. If you can see, it almost fits kind of like a puzzle piece. Europe and Canada and South America, and Africa,
South America and Africa
looks like
kind of like
attached. Yeah.
Right.
During those times, though, after that, the attachment began the Ice Ages. During the Ice Age, people lived in what they would consider now like the North Pole, like these cold areas were inhabited. The people that migrated down here to be the first people to find North America and the United States were what we would call the Eskimos. They came down and they found, hey, this is a different climate of land. Maybe we should populate here.
Just a little less.
They became what we know as the indigenous American Indians, Native Americans. What happened was they were fine. They didn't need anybody's fucking help. They had their own land. They was chilling. And here we go. Strolls along, Amerigo Vespucci, strolls along, Christopher Columbus, all your colonizers, welcome to the game.
It's like me going in my son's room and discovering his bed that he's been sleeping on since he was 2.
Yep.
It's my bed now.
My bed now.
It's my bed now.
Came in, took shit over, befriended these people, or act like they would because they're like, oh, new faces, you guys must be looking for a
Once again, everybody ain't your friend.
Killed them and took their land over. Everybody ain't your friend. So let's start. You know what? Okay, cool. So we can transition into that right now, whatnot, because we can just talk and bash shit all day. Everybody ain't your friend. You motherfuckers on Facebook. You motherfuckers on Instagram. You motherfuckers on Twitter. Oh, I can see it. I see it already. And let me tell you something. I posted something the other day because Agent Orange, as my brother lovingly calls him, says, what did he say? He said, if the looting starts, the shooting starts.
Which wasn't even something that he originally thought of, because he doesn't have an original thought.
No, that nigga stole that. He stole that shit from a movie or something like that.
No, it was said.
Why no looting had started yet?
Somebody had said it in the 60s.
He's come on, man. His wife took Michelle Obama's entire speech verbatim and re-spoke it. Word for fucking word. If you don't think that this nigga's a biter, come on, man. Like, he's going to say whatever the fuck he needs to say. He wants to get shock value of it. Somebody hit me up and was like, yo, they gotta be shock value. He can't be.
Listen, they've been trying to take everything from us for as long as they fucking could.
So, all right, so let me ask you, do you notice that the people that, because somebody put that up there the other day, oh, people have been talking. And I seen somebody put like, ooh, maybe some of y'all just shouldn't speak. Or some of y'all shouldn't post your opinions. Because you start to see what people are about.
Where people start processing.
Oh my gosh.
Or
I'm gonna tell you right now.
Thought process.
Not even lack of thought process. Prejudice is like,
it's real.
Floaty. It's like getting ash in your drink. You can drink it, and when you don't look down, you don't even notice it's there. It ain't you don't feel like it's affecting nothing until you fucking see it. You like, ooh, shit. Then all of a sudden you're like, I'm not drinking this shit. People, these racists, these undercover motherfuckers out here are the floaties of the world. I have fucking people that I work with.
Yeah.
That other people that I work with came up to me a while ago and said, listen, chill. Don't deal with that person like that. I see y'all friends on Facebook and follow each other on Instagram. And I'm telling you right now, he's a Trump supporter, and there's nothing wrong being a Trump supporter. If you're a Trump supporter, whatever. But right now, fuck you. No, it is wrong. There's something wrong being a Trump supporter. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, I'm gonna tell you another.
You can be Republican all you want.
I'm gonna tell you another story. I'm gonna tell you another story. You're gonna love this, Kelly. I'm gonna tell you another story in a minute because it's one of your favorite people and it's one of our favorite listeners. So I'm gonna tell you a story about that in a minute. You're gonna love it. Yeah, no, you love this guy. So, what the hell was I saying? So when people get on there and they start, this guy that I know from work, and he starts to say something. Can I explain to you? Remember that? Did y'all see the picture that I sent y'all? I'm gonna paint the picture for the listeners. I'm gonna paint the picture for the listeners real quick. All right, we're going through this corona epidemic, which seems like it's so much on the back burner now. I swear to God, it seems like everybody
I saw a graduation party and a birthday party.
You know what? Because it basically, can I be honest with you or whatnot? I think this is going to really, really uncover a lot of the bullshit that we were even fed with this corona shit. Because a lot of it was real, but a lot of it was fear. And what happens is that you can't control, when people are no longer scared, you can't control that shit no more. So what happens is that you got to find another way, and motherfuckers are not trying to hear what you're talking about no more. I don't even know what they say, bro. What it say? I can't see. Let me see.
I really hope the National Guard just start killing them motherfuckers. Black Kings get a 50% off discount. But...
Ain't that some shit? Ain't that some shit? That's somebody you follow on Instagram? Or that's
somebody else sent the post. Somebody else sent the post to me.
Yeah. This is so essentially this is what happened, y'all. This guy, when he superimposes the face of the New Jersey governor on
top of the state of New Jersey.
Right. No. Yeah. He superimposes the face on the cop, and then makes George Floyd's body, superimposes the state of New Jersey on it, and he says a caption like, "Okay, what's the state of what's New Jersey's governor's name? I don't even give a fuck.
Jersey governor. Anyway,
they say, okay, Jersey governor, let us up."
And I know his name. I just can't think about it.
Yeah, I can't think of it. I don't even give a fuck right now. But I can't
at all. Jersey governor.
Yeah.
You fuck up. Jersey's fuck up.
So basically, he shows me this picture, and not shows me this picture, but he posts this picture in his timeline. And of course, you know how, and that's another tactic. Always smooth ass hatred tactics going on right now, because you ain't got the fucking balls. You ain't got the balls to put that shit on your feed where it stays. You put that shit on that nut ass timeline where it disappears after 24 hours. You think you fucking click. So you put it on there. Don't get me wrong, but guess what? My phone got screen captured. I'm pressing the
They put on a story.
Real quick.
That shit on the story, nut ass. So he puts it on there, and I'm looking. I want y'all to imagine just seeing this and think of somebody think this shit is a fucking joke. You want to superimpose the state of New Jersey, like the map of New Jersey, over top of George Floyd's body. And then superimpose the knee, like you're trying to say, oh, the governor has his knee under us and it won't let us up. Like, ha ha ha, that's funny. Motherfucker, you superimpose that shit on top of a fucking dead body. See, this is what I'm saying. Y'all think this shit is a fucking game. You know what I'm saying? Y'all think this shit is funny. And this is where we come to an impasse. Because there are, and he's also, and I'm not, I don't say nobody's name or whatnot, but this motherfucker's also a serviceman. Thank you for your service. Fuck you. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Because I got service members in my family and whatnot. And if I told that service member what you did or what you talk about, fuck me. Listen, you know what I'm saying? Honestly, if I told him what you did, you would get confronted and he'll trash you. So I don't want to hear none of this shit. Like, I'm so fucking sick of letting shit slide. It's ridiculous.
Quick question.
So, yeah.
Quick question.
Yeah.
Did you peep how I'm not sure if y'all seen the post, the video post I sent. The boy the guy here in Philly who just did jury duty a week ago.
Right.
Showing the stacks of bricks conveniently placed downtown.
What you mean?
Literally, guy was like, yo, they literally have a stack of bricks conveniently placed. You know what I mean? For motherfuckers to just go fuck some shit up. Like, hold on, I'm trying to, besides the fact of the white guy who got out of his fucking car with the fucking bow and arrow.
Saw that.
They fucked him
and
up.
If you notice, now I'll say it might have been a Rican or so in there, but for the most part, it was motherfucking white
people. Yeah,
and then he want to get on the news guy.
My nigga, they hit this nigga with a skateboard. You know what I'm saying? So guess what? White people was out there. First thing you heard, get that fucker. Dude ran up on him and smacked him in his head with a skateboard. Let me tell you something. Look, this is what unity, unfortunately, this is what real unity looks like. This ain't no paper mache. It ain't no faking the funk and whatnot. The motherfuckers that's really about you and understand right is right and wrong is wrong, stand next to you. Stand next to you.
Yo, I'm about to send it joint to the group joint so y'all can check it. But dude, literally, he actually posted a video of he literally had just been downtown the week before for jury duty for a couple of days.
Right.
And then he said, all of a sudden, it's bricks out here.
It's a conveniently stack of bricks.
Right.
Listen. If we're talking about conspiracies, we can get right into that topic off top. But before we even move into the conspiracy factor, because the shit does exist, and I'm not gonna sit up here and act like it doesn't.
Right.
One of our favorite, I'm not gonna put his name out there or whatnot, but one of our listeners or whatnot that we interact with on a regular basis. I'll text it to you. Is
it a Spanish type name?
Like I said, I'm not going with but at the end of the day, this person was a Trump supporter.
Wow.
And personally sent me a note last night to apologize and to say, basically to say that you know what I mean. Listen, I've seen the error of my ways, and to be quite honest with you, I never ever would have thought. He said he thought he was good for the country. He thought he was good for the economy. The economy. I'm sorry, not the country, but the economy. Thought he was good for the economy. Don't get me wrong. I thought that when Trump first got into office, I was like, man, this is shitty. I didn't want Trump to be, but I did think he might help the economy. He's a fucking billionaire.
No, here's the thing. Here's one reason why, outside of all the other reasons why. The main reason why I didn't think he would be good for our country.
Yeah.
Because I was having this conversation earlier. The president of the country is like the CEO of a company.
Yes.
Okay.
Right.
And he already fucked up with Trump.
And to be a good leader, not to be a good boss, because you can't be a good boss if they call you boss.
Right.
To be a good leader, you not only have to worry about yourself, but everything that you do, every decision that you make affects everyone in this country, whether they're a Nazi, whether they're part of the Ku Klux Klan, black, white, Puerto Rican, and Asian. You are still the CEO, the leader of this country.
Okay, right.
You keep leading your corporation that has your name on it to file for bankruptcy.
That's true. That's
and
true.
And bankruptcy doesn't necessarily mean that you're broke. Bankruptcy just means you don't have.
You don't want to pay your bills.
If you can't take care of enough to make sure that your company can pay its bills.
Yeah.
And it's a multi-million, billion, whatever type business.
Right.
I don't need you trying to run my country because you can't even take care of your corporation.
I agree with that. You know what? But I don't even giving way too much fucking time to that. Yeah, I agree with that. The only thing that I kept thinking is, okay, you know what I'm saying? You're looking at somebody who actually, and I'm not saying he made it from the muscle. Like if Jeff Bezos, I ain't gonna lie to you, I am so business oriented in my own mind that if Jeff Bezos would run for president, I really would have to consider voting for him. You know what I'm saying? Because
what's the name next?
Who? Who's
Cuomo.
that?
Who?
Cuomo.
Yeah, I think Cuomo is good.
Hell, if I could have written Cuomo, and I really could have written Cuomo in, but I really need him to handle New York right now.
Right.
So, I need him to focus on.
But now it's to the point where I don't even want to give. I don't want to give Trump, Agent Orange, whatever, the satisfaction.
Hey, why are you saying his
name? I'm sorry. I don't want to give this motherfucker no satisfaction. But guess what? We talked about Biden. You know what I'm saying? Lesser of two evils in the situation. It's gonna have to be Uncle Joe. Uncle Joe got to get in there because this shit we need an immediate switch up.
Well, I don't know if you guys did the take home ballot where you had to mail in. I did.
No.
And Bernie's still on the ballot.
Really?
Well, it's the primaries, but I mean, even though he has stepped down.
Yeah.
It is up
there. So let me ask you a question. You think if we voted for Bernie that he would accept if he wins? Because
no, he's gonna do what he did last time and turn over his electoral votes to Biden.
But what if people?
I just don't see that he would ever go straight through with it.
Mm-hmm. The funny thing about this
is that I really think
seriously, health wise, he cannot do it. Mentally, probably yes, but
listen, was it?
And honestly, God, and I don't want
to his whole presidency. Wasn't Roosevelt in a wheelchair for his whole presidency?
Yes, he was.
FDR, he was in a wheelchair.
That was.
You see me rolling.
That was his legs. That was his legs on down. He didn't have any chest, any problems with his heart.
Bernie can still walk.
Okay, but Bernie had a semi-heart attack.
It's going to take his ass 20 minutes to walk to the podium.
Joe got dementia. Listen, then you talk about the lesser of two evils.
Then he's going to get there.
Bernie had a heart attack. You could be a president with a pacemaker.
I'm going to be this person.
Joe.
I'm going to be this person right now.
Okay.
And I'm going to say it as honestly and truthfully as possible. And I don't want to say it. I don't want to say it, but I'm going to say it.
Go ahead.
You want me to go for
Joe Biden is a white man. Bernie Sanders is a Jewish white man.
Ooh, okay. So this is what we doing. I see where you wanted this podcast to go.
So
yeah. Ooh. Can we?
So if you have Trump,
the Jews own a lot of shit.
And don't matter.
No, I said they own a lot of shit.
It don't matter. It still don't matter. You have Trump.
Right.
And it's like, could we put Bernie against Trump? Or could we put Hillary against Trump? It's still showing you that they had a qualified person.
Right.
As far as Hillary goes. They had a qualified person that could have done probably a decent job. Not that I wanted to vote for her, but I definitely wasn't voting for him. Definitely didn't want him to be president. However, you had a Jewish white man a white woman, an intelligent white woman, and a stupid ass white man, and they still chose the stupid ass white man over the other two people that could have been qualified candidates.
Because they thought
The only person at this point in time that's going to be able to meet this stupid white man, regardless, they picked him, and he said, I grabbed him by the pussy like a bitch. This is what he said. They have recordings on it, and he still became president. So
I
what,
agree.
Joe? So what? Joe got dementia. So hell, Reagan had dementia.
But see, that's kind of what I'm getting at.
Office.
That's what I'm saying, though. Like Joe, like think about the things that
at
we
this time
look at our choices.
Now,
look at our choices we got to vote for.
We need another white man to be that white man. And then once we got that all situated, then we can have Cuomo come in after Biden. Biden gonna have one term. He's not gonna have two. He's gonna have one term, and then we're gonna have Cuomo for two.
Let me tell you what's gangster about it. Cuomo got nipple rings. Yo, it's just
yo, to listen to him, first of all, I want to say, Mama Cuomo. I just want to say, whoever Mama Cuomo is.
Yeah.
Mama Cuomo did the damn thing with her sons.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Mama Cuomo did the thing with her sons, because to listen to Chris on CNN, mm-hmm. to listen to him speak about.
Did you hear him the other night when they smashed the window and they threw that firework in there and it exploded? He was like, "Oh shit!" like right on air. I loved it, man. I said, "Yeah, I love this shit."
But to listen to him speak. Mm-hmm. And not speak as what I feel he could speak as a white man, or he could speak as a citizen.
Right.
And he spoke as a citizen.
We need more down to earth people. That's the reason why the Barack situation worked so well, and it also has to do with age. You know what I'm saying? When Barack was what, 48 when he got into office. So. My thing is that I think it's an age thing. We no longer need to keep voting 900-year-old white men into the fucking presidency. So I mean, but to me, I don't want to get off that topic, because at the end of the day and whatnot, like I still think that the change has to begin with us from the local level.
Can I answer a couple questions in one?
Go ahead.
And there was a video. Did y'all see this video? The white guy. Mm-hmm. There's another white guy, and I had to have sent this to the group. With this one, what it boils down to is, again, they stole us from Africa. They brought us here to make us their slaves. All right. The Constitution does not, as you also stated yourself, they did not expect us to ever become more than just their slaves. Guess what? We rose up.
Someone said something about the Constitution the other day, and I'm just like, it wasn't written to include us.
Exactly.
Right.
Because they never expected us to become more than their slaves. So we've risen up, so that aggravates the white man, who it's always been to them. They've been always king of the castle. Now we got to a point, as you just said, with Barack. So now we've had a black president.
Right.
It's a turning of tides. It almost looked like Hillary was going to be president. It's a turning of tides. White men, those who were always king of the castle, king of the throne, as they figured, are nervous. They're nutting up because they're worried about whether we get in full power or female, even if it's of Caucasian base. Once we get in full power, all the shit that they've been doing to us for so fucking long, is it going to all start happening to them, and if not in tenfold? So they're scared.
So you think they're afraid? You think that they're afraid of taking the place of? Well, first and foremost, we already know that
they've been the head. They've been the head for so long.
They're afraid of losing their place.
Exactly. They're afraid of going from being the head, as they've been or have been considered, being the ass or the tail.
But you know what? This is what I want to say too, though. Unfortunately, there is a it takes a certain amount of time for evolution to kick in kick into gear, and it's going to take hundreds upon hundreds of years in order for white people to no longer be the majority, to become the minority, because it just takes, you know what I mean, the blending of races. That just takes a level of understanding. Just takes all around evolution, physically, mentally, emotionally, everything. But right now, and for the time being, they still have a strong stranglehold on leadership, on being a front runner. So what happens is that they also have to take accountability. But the way that there are a lot out there that have taken accountability, and what we need is, you saw when we worked out. Hold on, before you even say that, Kelly. Before you say that, before what you saw yesterday, when that video that you were talking about with the cop that was in Flint. Mm-hmm. Did you see how much better things work when you have a white man of power that's on the front line standing next to black people on the front line? Mm-hmm. That's what I mean. So what happens is that I'm not going to sit there and condemn all of them, because a lot of them have become accountable. They're like, yo, this is fucked up. This don't work well for us. So therefore we need to be next to them and whatnot in order to make things happen correctly. Because right now shit is fucked up. And the places that are good are where white people stand next to you and say, hey, look, I'm with you. You know what I'm saying? Arm in arm.
If we could show them, a friend of mine's posted that it's not white versus black,
right?
It's everybody versus racist. And if you could realize that we're all on the same side in this fight, that it's not me trying to take a white man's job. There's no such thing as a white man's job. It's such thing as a qualified person doing the job.
It's crazy.
And the job has no color.
But it's at 1963. Dr. King said it. And I have different parts of his speech, of the I Have a Dream speech. I Have a Dream speech that can, outside of the word Negro, can be said today. Like, I mean, today, this very minute, 1:22 on May 31st. The moment that every citizen of the United States, every citizen of the world can be seen for the content of their character and not just for the color of their skin, then we can actually make some advancements. But until we do that as a people, this is going to happen every 10 years, every 15 years. The black men are not going to stop dying at the hands of white men or whoever. People are not just going to think that black people, because women have been dying too, don't get it twisted. Children have been dying too. Yeah. But we're dispensable. And when they stop seeing us as dispensable.
But that's a superiority complex as well. Let me ask you a question. Do you think that the white man that you work for at your corporate job, do you think that he feels like he's better than you are?
That particular one, no.
Mine does. Mine does. Mine has said, I actually, we got into it. I'm in a union at my job, and I probably told this story before. And something happened where, through no fault of my own, a part of my job wasn't done in the proper fashion because of the instruction that I was given. I only followed the instruction that I was given. What happens is that I am a very, very practical person. You know what I mean? I get A to B. I'm a practical thinker. When you tell me some shit, I'm following that to the letter of the word. Sometimes when I use my common sense, I use the common sense in order to make a situation better.
Common sense ain't common for some people.
Yeah, that's true. But what happens is that people imply that into an assumption of certain things. And my job is very, very simple when it comes to things. You drop off the clean clothes and clean garments. You pick up the dirty. Drop off, pick up. Drop off, pick up. Easy as that. But what happened was I dropped off the clean and picked up the dirty from where I knew it was. They said, this is where it's located. They never told me, hey, look, we got a new place where we put more. I filled it up, thought it was cool, took it, left. It was what it was.
They didn't say it was a double pickup.
They didn't say it was a double pickup, or they didn't say that they had moved it to another.
Or they had more.
A few weeks before that, I had got it from the same place, so it was what it was. I knew what I knew. I get a call when I get off of vacation, coming to the office. We got to talk to you. I'm like, okay, I don't see anybody without a union representative. We got the union representative. They come in there, boom, we talk. And they're like, you're being written up and you're being suspended for 2 days because you did not do what we asked you to do. I'm like, what are you talking about? They like, you purposefully left this. I said, I purposefully left it? I said, let me ask you a question. I just came back from vacation. I said, how do you know that I purposely left anything? Well, you should have known that this, you picked it up in the men's locker room. I said, first and foremost, the locker room doesn't have the room that I was in doesn't have a sign on the door at all. Long story short, we go back and forth, and I find a way to subdue the damage. I got I didn't get the suspension, but the write up was like minimal. And then for the next 3 weeks, everything that was ever done kept being brought up, and I was brought into the office 2 more times and told them, all right, now you're on a final written warning. I said, okay. This sounds like now that you're trying to get me out of here. And I said,
you set me up.
Yeah, you said you set me up for failure. So what happened was it became a situation where I laid low, and I laid low for like almost a year. And I filed more grievances, and I had a couple more meetings. And a year and a half goes by, and we have a grievance meeting. And I'm sitting in there, and I'm recapping the year. And I said, and our write-ups drop off after a year. And I said to him, let me ask you a question. I said, you haven't spoken to me since that time because you took what happened because I couldn't go back to pick up these people's stuff because I was on vacation. I said, you haven't spoken with me in a year. I said, how old are you again? I said, we're in our 30s, dude. You please do not be a child. You know what I mean? I'm talking to the vice president of the company. He said, well, I felt as if that you did it on purpose. Why'd you feel like I did it on purpose? I said, so let me get this straight. When I tell you I didn't do it on purpose, you know what I'm saying? You don't believe me. So then he said, well, it doesn't matter. You should have known better. I said, well, I didn't know better because I wasn't told better, and that is my job. So either you're calling me a liar or you're calling me incompetent. Which one is it? I'm not calling you neither. I said, no, you don't understand. Basically, I understand what you're saying, and we are at an impasse now because now you've picked on me now for a year and a half. You either are calling me a liar or you are calling me incompetent. You're saying that I'm too stupid to do my job correctly, or you're saying I'm lying about doing my job correctly. And at that point, there was a look in his face that basically, like it's this look that you get like, yo, how is he coming at me like this? I want to fire him right now. And I'm like, dude, you have no reason to be this way towards me. And ever since then, we speak, we're cordial, but I haven't got a write-up since then. I haven't got anybody say anything to me. You know why? People in my job stay out of my way because they don't want to hear about, like honestly, we don't have to be friends. But if you hold me accountable for my job, I hold you accountable for yours. Management or not. People don't want to hear that shit. So that's how I feel about it.
Accountability.
So bringing that up, anybody else has instances into which you felt blatant racism, whether it's a police stop, whether it's somebody at a job, whether it's somebody just blatantly doing something, you at a department store, anything into which that you had to compose yourself and say, you know what, I'm going to have to take the high road because I'm going to break somebody's fucking neck.
I can go one better.
All right.
My first arrest in Philadelphia, I was 17 years old. I'll tell you about the story. It's down South Street.
Right.
This was a Saturday night. It was me, my boy Kaya, and my homie Mike, not my brother, the other Kaya, the other Mike, Buff Mike. So I'm the oldest. I'm 17. Kaya's about to turn 17. Mike's fucking 15. But Mike is actually driving. So we get ready to roll out because the same token, I actually had a party I was supposed to be doing at 1 o'clock.
Okay.
It's close. It's like 11 something, close to 12. So we about to roll out, get to 8th Street, some shit hop off with some niggas. Cops jump out, start going ape shit. We witnessing the shit, but again, right now, we trying to cross to get the fuck out of Dodge. Cop run up in the mix. Ironically, like now, except it was a stocking cap joint. Got my joint on. He mouth off. I'm like, listen, man, we try to roll the fuck out. You know what I mean? Can you excuse me, get the fuck out the way? Like, me and him go back and forth with words. I'm break it down. Listen, I'm not fearful of you. You're gonna this, that, and other. Same token, I ain't trying to cause you no harm. I'm trying to roll out.
Right.
He ended up going by the Let's Go. As I step off, this motherfucker pepper sprays the back of my head though.
Oh, my God.
I get maybe 20 steps past, you know what I mean, on the other side, right by the firehouse. I hear the little one in the middle. Before I could turn around, I'm grabbed, thrown up on the wall, slammed on the ground, and cuffed. But I really don't know why. This is again before 12 o'clock.
Because you're a young black man.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
I was in the back of the motherfucking van till the bitch filled up. They ended up having to open it up because one guy, a white guy, had his mouth wired shut and they had closed the vent. This is summertime, so it's hot as shit, and he's about to fucking throw up.
Oh my God.
I don't get to the fucking precinct on South Street till 4:30 in the morning. Again, I'm 17 years old, so guess what? They gotta call Mom Dukes, who doesn't have a car at the time. We live at 25th and Cecil B. The 3 is not running at the time, so she walks down to 9th and South Street to the district to come get me. My homie Kaya, ironically, was out there talking shit because he wasn't leaving because I didn't do anything. I really didn't do anything.
Right,
you know what I mean?
right.
The other Mike, he on some, listen, I know I'm underage, let me get my black ass the fuck out of Dodge.
Yeah.
Kaya ended up getting locked up as 2 as well, just because he out there like, no man ain't do nothing. Like, we was just trying to lead this, that, and other, but he's mouthing off and he big fat, you know what I mean, black guy.
Right.
Lock his ass up so his grandparents come get us. Ironically, fortunately, his grandparents came. They gave us a ride home, although his grandma whipped his ass.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? His grandma whipped his ass in the van while we was on the way to, like, nah, nigga, your friend finna whip this ass up. And I'm like, damn.
Yeah. As it goes, that shit's going down. Yep, as it goes.
You know, ultimately, you know, I got fucking back of hair, you know what I mean, burning from fucking pepper spray, face scraped up from me getting slammed up against the wall, you know, on the ground and cuffed. And fortunately, it was go to a bullshit class on a Saturday, pay $80, you know, and the shit got wiped off. But all that was about what? I wasn't even in the mix of anything. I was trying to leave. And just because I actually had a debate, but not even a threat of debate, but just a standing up for myself and still proceeding on past. If that was the situation, why you ain't just stop me, you know, when we had the back and forth?
But it's about the police presence, though, man. They've been saying it for years that the problem is that the people that are policing neighborhoods, they don't know anything about it. They're policing neighborhoods they know nothing about. So they're scared to fucking death in neighborhoods where you can't tell. Let me ask you a question. Back in the day, I'm gonna get to your story in a second, Kelly. Back in the day when they used to ask, like, I remember being this school police and stuff like that. When we used to stand outside of school after school, remember the ciphers? Remember the ciphers?
Hell yeah.
All right.
You know, I was in the bitches.
Right. So you out there with the cipher, somebody beatboxing, somebody, you know what I'm saying? Somebody could be pounding, if it's in a lunchroom, they pounding on the table or something like that. Everybody's out there rapping. Niggas that could rap, niggas that couldn't rap. Everybody's out there rapping, getting busy. Right?
I'm sure he's listening.
How many times that we've had a situation like that broken up because they thought that it was a fight or they didn't understand what was happening at the time? I've been in groups that have been pepper sprayed. I've had guns pulled out on us or whatnot because they thought that we were jumping somebody at the time. And all you had to do was come close. And then one time I was rapping and we had a couple cops that loved to see the shit. It was like, yo, bring that shit down to this corner and whatnot. Let me hear it. And was stood there with us or whatnot. Like, oh, y'all need to come back every week. This is thorough. This is like on South Street. You know what I'm saying? Like they knew what was going on. Like when they see us, they were like, oh, you're gonna rap today? Like this and the third. You have to understand the neighborhoods that you're fucking policing. And that's the problem. You just don't.
Who was cool like that. Yeah. You had some cops down south because you had the same token, not even those who was rapping, you had those groups shoot. You remember who was singing.
Right.
You know what I mean?
My particular district, I follow them on Facebook.
Right.
And I say to them all the time, we need foot patrol. You need to know the kids in the area.
Right, absolutely.
You need to know them on a one-on-one basis so you can speak to their character and not just the assumption of what they look like when they're walking down the street. Because if you see my son walking down the street, you won't think he's a hood rat until you stop and talk to him.
Yep. Yep. You have
And
to.
if you want the kids in this neighborhood or any neighborhood for that matter to trust the police and to be able to feel like if they're in trouble, they have someone to go to. Like where my police district is smack dab in the middle of our neighborhood.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
It's smack dab in the middle of our neighborhood where, at least 3 different neighborhoods can hit that police department.
Yeah.
And if
absolutely.
you want them to feel like they can come to you if they need help, then you need to make yourself, just like parents, you need to make yourself accessible.
You are absolutely right.
And relatable. Kids that are
that's
out
a big thing too. Relatable is actually
one thing
a big
is
thing.
riding around the neighborhood in a car. Another is we started having bike patrol.
Yeah.
So we had police officers in our neighborhoods riding the bikes. But hell, my neighborhood, like my area is not that big. You can have somebody, you can park your car on one street and then walk around 6 or 7 blocks just so that there's a police presence. People are getting to know the police. Like I need to, that's Officer Smith. Hey, how you doing?
Yep. Or like
know who Kelly is, and you know that you may know my situation as a parent. So you may want to just interact with him on a different level because you know that he's not getting the male influence that once at home. But you want to, you see a good kid and you want to keep him out of trouble. So you just want to give him good words. You're not trying to be his dad, but you're somebody that's in the neighborhood that he may see all the time and he may be comfortable to stop and speak to.
Right. Or at least patronize even the businesses that are in the areas. Instead of driving past the Chinese store or whatever to make sure niggas ain't outside selling drugs or buying Lucy's.
Get out of here.
Go in there and get your egg roll. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the whole thing. That's the corner stores or go get you a shape up at one of the local bars. You know what I'm saying? Like there's nothing wrong with it. Like we live off this shit anyway. You can't be in our neighborhood and then play.
I think with
you know what I'm saying, from the outside looking in. You can't do that because you're not going to be able to identify with what we go through. And that's the whole point. You know what I'm saying?
I think with some cops, and I'm not speaking for all because I have a few very good friends.
Right.
And classmates that are police officers.
Yeah.
But I think for some, they have a power trip.
Oh, that's a definite.
They have a power trip. I had an experience.
Okay, this your story?
No, this is just an experience with the cop.
But you got a story.
I have a story.
Okay,
so
right
after this, I'm gonna go into the story.
All right, got you. Go ahead.
But when we had live 08 here in Philadelphia, my sister came up from Pittsburgh. My son's aunt. We were chilling. Okay, and we were down on the Parkway. And my son, he was a little bit, this wasn't even 08, this was before that because he had to be like 1.5, almost 2.
Right.
And so my sister-in-law and my sister sat there. I went to use the bathroom and get a snack. But the way I came was now blocked off for me to come. And I'm like right in the middle of the Parkway is where my son and my sisters are.
Right.
And so I was asking, like, one officer was like, okay, go this way, like real light in the voice, just giving directions, And I was about to ask a question, and it was a sister police officer, and I was about to say, excuse me, could I? Didn't he say to go there? It took.
Right.
Y'all know I'm not a fighter. I'm not but it took, like, my whole body got heated because nothing in my system, nothing in what I said or was about to ask warranted being, like, I could still see her face to this day. Nothing I said or was about to ask warranted being yelled at.
Right.
To say, well, didn't he say go that way?
Yeah.
You could have said, well, ma'am, you have to, he just said go this way. You need to go this way. Where I needed to go was directly on the opposite side of where they was at. And I was just want to ask, could I cut through here? Because my child is right there.
Yeah.
You know, and instead of going all the way. So it's just real crazy.
No, yeah, that sounds like a complex thing. So what's your story?
Yeah, so my story is a friend of mine's posted a letter to their white friends. And it was something that she reposted and that I actually reposted, and it was just to summarize, you know, if you're going to stand with me, if you're going to call yourself my friend, you want to stand with me, stand with me. Like just a middle line. A lot of you, my friends, don't know about it, don't care about it, don't believe it, refuse to see it, and at the very least, you aren't willing to take a stand against it. How can you love me if this is where we stand? How can I walk hand in hand with you knowing that I will always be treated differently? How can I worship with you when I know that we are only one political Facebook rant post away from you disregarding my life and the lives of those who look like me? So yeah, I'm tired, downright exhausted, but tonight I want you to pause. And if you're willing to go on a journey beyond yourself, beyond your interests, beyond your privilege, then keep reading. And if you don't know these names and the names that I read earlier, Google them, learn them, get a better understanding of why Black people in and out of your circle are not okay. We have been murdered by white people in this country for centuries, and believe it or not, it's still legal to take our lives. Yes. So read and educate yourself and see why it's downright trauma to live in this nation as a Black person, thinking about our every word and step, wondering if someone will feel so threatened by it that they take our lives. Read, and after you're done reading, tell your friends, tell your family, tell your neighbors, tell your cops, and maybe if you speak up enough, maybe if you stop tolerating it, they will stop killing us. That's what I posted on my Facebook page.
Yeah, right.
Because I am in a corporate world and I deal with a lot of Caucasian people.
Right. As do a lot of us. Yeah, but you are absolutely right.
I woke up yesterday morning to a inbox from a former coworker, former boss, actually.
Right.
In relation to what I just read, in reference to what I just read.
Right.
So he says, "Good morning. I love and respect you as a person, and I apologize for my ignorance as I ask my questions. Should I teach my boys 6 and 4 that Black Lives Matter? Should I share the history of oppression that continues to exist in this country? There's a part of me that says no. That part of me says that by doing so, I just taught them that Black people are different than white people, and it isn't the root of racism. And isn't that the root of racism? When they ask why some people's skin is a different color, shouldn't I just simply say that everyone originated from different parts of the world, but that we are all equal with the same rights regardless of skin color? I almost feel like racism still exists because we teach our children about the history of oppression. Not saying Black families should not teach their children about their cultural history, but maybe schools and white parents should not, especially since I am not educated enough to even speak on the topic." So, mind you, this is, I'm awake for at least 5 minutes when I respond. No glasses on, blurry as hell. But I say
that's
to
still
him,
stinking.
It never stinks. My breath don't stink.
Right.
My breath don't stink.
Nah. Still had
our boogers. Black women breath don't stink.
But, oh my God, I hate telling
the lies you tell.
She said last week she said Black women don't fake, and then now Black women breath don't smell. This shit is crazy.
All right. My response to him, and I actually sent the initial message to your cousin because it was just like, check this out.
Yeah.
You know, we're all different. That's a given. But it's the parents that teach their children they are better because they are white is where the racism comes from. When you make sure they know the painful history of this country and how to avoid it, that's one thing. It's racist to not like someone for their color, and that's where racism sits. Teach your children to get to know everyone, and if they don't like the person for their character, fine, but not for their skin. It's hard. I'm not an authority on the subject of how to teach not to be racist. Teach them right from wrong, and right and wrong doesn't have a color. All I can say is that they will learn from your actions and what they see you do more than what you are to tell them. When I went to Japan, I had to follow up because it hit me. When I went to Japan and China with my classmates, you know, Japan is primarily Japanese. You don't see a lot of people of color there.
Yeah, except those purple people in the Ninja Turtles, but that's about it. You know, the Power Rangers be there, and but most of the time it's just them.
Did you see Godzilla?
yeah, him too. You know what I'm saying? All of them, they be there, but other than that, man, it ain't a whole lot of Godzilla families that just be chilling. You know what I'm saying?
You don't see a lot of people
sushi restaurants and shit
that look like me. And we were in this beautiful mall in Japan, and I was standing with my classmate Kenny. And Kenny is about.
Oh my God, they killed Kenny.
Kenny had to be about 6'1" black man. Okay. And you got this 5'1" black woman there, and this little girl who had to be about.
You gonna stop lying about your height too?
I am 5'1". The doctor said it. Damn it.
You like 5'1". Last time you about 4'11" and 3/4.
No, actually my grandmother and my aunt and my cousin are 4'11", and I'm taller than them.
All right, stop defending your height. Get back to the story. Go ahead.
So, little girl sees us. Little girl had to be about 5, 6 years old. Had never seen a black person in her life.
Right.
And you can tell that because she looked at us in the fear in her eyes.
Oh wow.
The fear in her eyes, and without saying a word to each other, Kenny and I saw that, and we just smiled at her. Because, we meant her no harm or whatever. We tried to, give off a good energy to let her know that, we people too, honey. We people too.
Right.
But
how did she react to that?
She's still, still looking freaked out because she had never seen anyone with brown skin.
Did she do like?
And her father looked down and saw how she was looking at us, and he snatched her.
Right.
And then he got not so much got in her face, but got down to her level, and you could see that that's when the worldly lesson began with her.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because just because someone looks different from you doesn't mean that you have to stare at them like that.
And that was the perfect opportunity for him to
and he didn't speak English. We didn't speak Japanese.
Right.
But he acknowledged us, and that
was cool. That was cool.
He even though he couldn't say, "I'm sorry, she doesn't know any better." You could tell, "I'm sorry, she didn't know any better."
That's right.
And I'm going to make sure she knows better. And that's where it starts, teaching your children to know better. But when you have that systemic of, I got it easy so that my child gets it easy, and they get it easy, and they get it easy, and you keep telling them just because of who you are as my child, as my white child, as my white daughter, as my white son, that it's easy for you.
Right.
Then that's where it gets. When we are able to stop it there, and everyone has to work for what they need to work for.
Right. And that, I think it just comes with it. You're absolutely right, because I think what happens is that we start talking about what is learned in order to mold racism and mold prejudice and mold hate. And there's not a class for this shit. There's not a class that people are sitting down and teaching people. What happens is that remember when we started talking about that you cannot escape your parents? Yeah. This is the prime example of not being able to escape your parents. I don't know many bigots that don't have bigoted parents. I don't know people like this. So what happens is that they take these situations and they apply them one way, and what they see on TV, and they apply what they've heard other prejudiced people say about people, and they take it and they roll it all up into one ball, and they think that they're inferior because they're not. They think they're superior because they don't think that way, or they don't move that way, or I'm not from a project development. I'm from this. I'm from a distinguished Cartwright family, and blah, blah, blah. And they take that to look down upon other people. And then when they do watch TV and they do see that these big, black, tall, strong, fast athletes are dominating everything physically, they become, they build up, like you said, they build up an inferiority complex and think in their own mind, well, it doesn't matter, because when it comes to things that count, like politics and intellectual property and building businesses, that will always be beneath us. You have to be tall and fast and strong and this way in order to be a do good or do right Negro. You cannot be a person that has,
we can be tall, we can be fast, and we can be highly intelligent.
And that's the whole point. But
we're ambidextrous that way.
Here's an interesting, and you just reminded me of it. Here's a very funny family tell. A good friend of mine I grew up with in Florida, Ralph Newcomb. All right.
Hi, Ralph Newcomb.
Ralph and his sister.
Was he related to Duke?
I don't know.
Duke Newcomb, get it.
But I got you. Here's and I completely have forgot about this.
Right.
The reason why him and his sister were raised by their grandparents, is because the mother and father decided to join the KKK.
Wow, are you fucking kidding me?
Wow.
And I knew Ralph is a year younger than me, I want to say. A year or two young, because him and Marlon was the same age. So I want to say a year younger than me. And it's funny because their grandparents were not on that page.
Okay, so that's what you're saying.
Basically, and I asked, and there was something that wasn't spoke about. It wasn't spoken about. And I knew him from the hall. His grandparents, we all went to the same Kingdom Hall.
Right.
And it's funny because I used to go and spend the night over there, or spend the weekends over there a lot of times. And a funny story, another story I told about Jason Buchanan, who's another white kid who was like a year or two younger than me, was one of those. His dad was racist as fuck. His mom wasn't. His mom wasn't really. Now he couldn't have black kids over. If he was over and I'm over there and we playing, his mom is cool. Billy McClinton might be over there too, another black kid. But
it's funny how you remember all these fucking names.
Listen,
too. Trip down memory lane and shit.
But if his dad came home,
through fifth grade, you remember everybody first.
I know. I remember names and shit. That's crazy.
If his dad came home though, and we were out there playing basketball, he had to get the fuck out of the house. He couldn't play with us. He couldn't play with us.
Crazy.
Outside now.
Wow.
Outside.
Oh, I thought he was talking. I thought how they were talking to you. Talking to the dog.
They don't let the door open, so the dogs are in, and both the doors are open. And I already said to them, if they go outside, Jaden Johnson and Nyla and Mia Graham, they're gonna stay outside and make sure these dogs don't come in.
Because another
out. Get the dogs out. I stated this beforehand. Do not step back through that door until I'm done.
I love Black Father life lessons.
I stated this before. I'm not going to state it again.
Keep these dogs out my fucking
You get all everything you need from the Missing Know-It-All podcast.
Curse, at my children. I'm trying not to be belligerent. And my daughter is still sitting here staring at me in the doorway with the door open. Kelly said, "Hi, Nyla. Now, can you please close the door, Nyla?" Enjoy yourself outside, Nala. It's a nice day outside, Nala. Enjoy the sunshine in the backyard right now, Nala. I'm recording on the podcast live right now, Nala. And you are still trying to talk to me right now, Nala. And we are talking about a serious matter. Your Uncle Keith is laughing and cracking up right now because he knows exactly what you're doing because you're pulling a lyric right now, Nala.
Just standing
he's
there.
not getting it, so it's me who dealing with it. But I'm dealing with it kind of good right now, too. And if Nala let one more fly in my room, we're going to have a real issue in here, Nyla, meaning bye-bye, Nala.
All right, I want you to woo-side for a second, good brother, because it looks like the daddy vein has popped out of the forehead.
And then she left the cracked.
I'm glad that we're on a good cue right now, whatnot, because we're not going to do the rest of this show is going to be considered what we call the naked truth, and we're not going to do the tale from the industry because it might be a little bit inappropriate. Like it just might be. We're going to close out in a few minutes, and I just want to talk to my constituents about what are we going to do? What's going to have to happen to make this better? Because to be quite honest with you, violence begets violence, but it seems like that's the only language that people understand. I was much more pissed off yesterday. I have a black son. Kelly, you have a black son.
Just had to lock
Ruff,
out.
you have a black you have a black son. You have a black daughter.
Black sons. I got black daughters.
Right.
I got a black grandson.
We got black nieces, black nephews. I
got black brothers.
Right. Yep. Exactly.
I got ice in my mouth. Sorry, but
whoa, what do you do? Never mind.
Ice, man.
But no, but honestly, so
I'm an ice short.
Yeah. Thank you, Kelly. Thank you. But so my thing is that what do we do in order to make this situation better? Because to be quite honest with you, I'm nervous for a lot of situations. I think that people's instinct is to fight back, but then nobody is to say that the people that you're fighting back against are just going to lay down.
Really,
but the whole thing is the thing that's scary is the fact that what I was thinking about was it's the ultimate price that we're paying. So why would you be afraid to fight back? Are you afraid they're going to kill you? They're killing us anyway.
Right.
So my thing is that
one, have you guys seen the show that was on Showtime a while back called American Gods?
I've seen it. I've never watched it.
Okay, so this is your homework for when you get off of here. There's a character played by Orlando Jones.
Okay.
Called Mr. Nancy. Mm-hmm. He's an African god. The name is actually Anansi in African. And the show goes back and details like how these different gods came to be.
Okay.
Anansi is on the slave ship. And he's telling them about what's getting ready to happen to them.
Right.
And he's telling them basically, anger gets shit done. Right. When we get off of this, I want you to go on YouTube, look up Mr. Nancy's speech, American Gods. Trust me, it'll come up. You'll see the one. I actually posted it on my page a few days ago.
Yeah.
But when you hear, like, I had to have my mom sit down and watch it, be like, yo, this is exactly what he was talking about. Orlando Jones was fired from American Gods because the speeches that he said on the show, he wrote. He wrote.
Yeah.
The showrunner fired him, saying that he wasn't sure this was the message that they wanted to send to Black people. But if you listen to what he's saying, this is the message that we needed.
That is so true.
Second thing. Everybody else playing chess, we playing checkers.
Am I hearing water in somebody's background?
Yeah, I got a filter for the turtle tank.
Oh.
Yeah. I'm sorry.
I'm like, is somebody fossil?
Yeah.
Kelly, are you really in the bathroom?
That's chest for your ass. And it's soothing too. It's no, what you call it? It's soothing too. Like it's like a really, really very, tranquil. I think that's the reason why I haven't been screaming my head off this whole podcast. But go ahead. Kelly, you
they keep coming to the damn door. I'm sorry for interrupting you.
No, you good. You good. Go ahead, bro.
So that's my thing. Everybody else playing chess.
Right.
We playing checkers.
Mm-hmm.
When we start playing on a level field, when we start playing the same game they're playing,
right,
and learn how to beat them at their own game.
Mm-hmm.
See, that's how Barack became president.
Right.
Because he learned their game.
Mm-hmm.
That's what we all have to do.
Yeah.
We all have to learn the game.
It starts off by supporting each other. That's what it. Ooh. So the one thing that I've seen a whole lot of as of late, and rough, because we're gonna be closing out a little bit, so I want to get your thoughts on wrapping things up. One thing that I've seen a lot of is and we want to mention that too, because I told him that I would mention it on the podcast. What's the name of the hashtag that has over 300,000 likes right now? What is it called, Kelly? It's a thing that's uplifting.
For June 7th?
Yeah, for June 7th.
Is it June 7th or is it July 7th?
July 7th.
July 7th.
I think I'm gonna do it on June 7th too. But
okay, what is it exactly? Just give a rundown of exactly what it is and what it's
Blackout Day 2020.
Blackout Day 2020.
Yeah. So basically,
July 7th, 2020. Mm-hmm.
Yes. So this is a call to action. We need one day of solidarity in America where not one black person in America spends $1. This includes Africans, Native Americans, Asian Americans, Hispanic, all people of color. Together, we have $3.9 trillion of economic spending power. That's $10 billion is going to cost per day next time a person of color gets shot. We will call it Blackout Day 2020, July 7th, 2020. Please spread this message and let's show real action, show the real action that they fear. Please understand that this first goal of organizing a Blackout Day of July 27th is only the beginning of a lifelong pursuit of economic empowerment as a reality for all Black people.
There you go. Love it.
If we can do it for a day, we can do it for a week, a month, a quarter, a year, and one day we will look up and it will be a way of life.
It'll be a way of life. It's called financial independency. We've been talking about this for a long, long time, but now is a situation into which that they don't take you seriously because they feel that you are inferior. So therefore, okay.
Oh, we have to show. We have to not just say we're gonna do. We have to stand up that day and actually not spend a dollar.
No, we're not spending
a penny. Nothing.
Right. No, we're not spending. July 7th.
Make Wall Street drop.
Yep. July 7th, 2020. Blackout Day. We are not spending
not even on a goddamn game either.
Yep.
Not even on the game for extra lives, for no extra bars.
Check this out. If you better become, you know what I'm saying? Like, just if you need something, you better get it the day before.
Make sure you have your
cigarettes. We're not spending no money on that.
Don't even do it the day before because that spike.
Oh, but the spike will. Okay, got you. So right. So
start doing what you need to do now.
Now, right.
So
right.
that when July 7th comes along, you have what you need in the house.
Absolutely.
And as far as I'm concerned, we could do it every 7th of every month. But July 7th, I think they said July 7th was just enough time to get everyone, together and enough time so people can focus on that date so they know to get what you need in the house from this month to next month so that when that date comes, you're good.
I respect that. That is actually a great way. And then we also need to start. There have been a lot of support Black businesses and things like that. Like, listen, this financial independency thing, this shit is not going anywhere.
No,
it's not going anywhere because
we need Rich back on the show too now.
Yeah, exactly. We're gonna have my homie Rich. He's gonna have to come back and and speak with us some more upon starting to understand what we need to do as far as, you know, financial stability,
Mm-hmm.
because this goes deeper than situations that involve police brutality and stuff like that. It's the overall way that people think about us,
Mm-hmm.
because what we portray and what we and the things that we're not able to do. So therefore, let's put ourselves in a position where we got power.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because the best way to fight
Could we have some
power
meetings?
is to have power.
Could we have some meetings where we sit down and talk and discuss amongst each other? We've been talking about that for a while.
Absolutely.
That you know, everybody else had meetings that we don't know about.
Yep.
And even though they don't like, you know, I may not like what Keith said today. I may not like what Ruffy said today. But
I don't know, like what I said.
that's not going to happen on a show where I say, oh, I don't agree. I don't agree. When we get off air, then we have our private conversation. It's not for the mass community. I was watching, oh my God, Angie Martinez, the famous radio DJ Angie Martinez, has a show on WeTV called Untold Stories of Hip Hop.
Right.
And she speaks to everybody. Who doesn't she speak to? But she speaks to Snoop, and Snoop tells the story of how Farrakhan, they had a semi-rap conference, basically.
Right.
Because he wanted to squash some stuff. He wanted everyone to be on a united front.
Right.
And
I think I remember that.
You know, it was some things that, you know, they got squashed, and Snoop was like, you know, are we going to tell anybody what happened here? And Farrakhan was like, no. He's like, black people stuff is black people stuff. When I heard that, I was thinking back to our conversation maybe about 10 shows ago, where we were saying we don't have with Snoop and Gail.
Yeah. Yep.
It didn't have to be like that.
Right. It didn't have to be.
We don't have to call each other out on our shit.
I got something that quickly applies.
publicly.
I got something that quickly applies to that real quick, and then let me talk to Ruff real quick. So right before we started recording, I get a DM message from, you know, one of the followers of the Mr. KnowItAll, which is the weirdest shit in the world to me. I don't know if she's a follower of my personal page or a follower of the podcast. And from a business account, she has a fucking business. She puts it at the bottom. She puts in this message, please stop sending me this. If y'all listen to the Mr. KnowItAll podcast, I am extremely diligent on promoting the podcast for every episode that comes out. And if you follow the pages, you will get, you know, most of the time you get a direct message. You'll get a DM. She says to me, please stop sending me this. I was
the alerts from the podcast?
Yeah. I was so fucking hurt. I said, sis, this is a black business, just like you have. I said, this is a podcast where we talk about entertainment things and social issues and all different types of shit. And I said, you want your business. I said, you promoting your business. You want the same, you know what I'm saying, respect. You want people to come to your page and follow you and hopefully purchase from you and whatnot. I said, all this is just a call to action. It's an advertisement just like anything else. Like if you're so, like, I just don't understand. This is what I'm talking about, though. We go through this whole rigmarole of talking about how we feel about the injustice that's going on, but something as simple as a black business, sending you a message about what they're trying to sell. You know what I'm saying? I'm not even selling anything physical. I'm selling intellectual property to you. You know what I'm saying? We're selling ideas. We're selling entertainment. And it costs nothing.
It costs
but
nothing.
you get you sow in your stupid ass fucking bag. And if you listen to this, you can unfollow me and give a fuck. You so busy in your bag that you say stuff like, stop sending me this. Nobody is killing you, sis. People are being killed in the street by people that can't stand you. I'm trying to spread love.
And when
And you are so ignorant that
the problem with that is that she doesn't even see the worth. Because if she has a business and you have a radio,
ain't that a bitch? Ain't that a bitch? I have a platform.
Just like we promoted my game night, just like we promoted our brother's podcast, just like we're gonna big up the other podcast that you sent.
Right.
It takes 2 seconds for us to give voice to your business. And despite what you may know or may not know, we got a lot of listeners. And they're not just in Philadelphia.
Right. Exactly.
They're not just in Philadelphia. So you don't know who we're reaching and how we can partner together as two different businesses to make sure that you get your numbers that you need for whatever your business is, or you at least get your name out there to people that may not know what your business is, or that your business even exists.
This is just
it's
the
called
time.
Your tongue speaks life or death. You choose. You choose.
This is a time right now that we need to have.
I need a drink.
I know, me too. This is a time that we need to strengthen our house, y'all. Because now the enemy is at the fucking door. The enemy is at the door. And we have to strengthen our house because they don't give a fuck about the complications that we got in-house. They attacking. They coming through. And we need to figure it the fuck out. The enemy is at the fucking gates. And we so busy, we can't be infighting no more. The time for infighting and disagreements and all that shit is at a fucking end. It's at an end.
And it's okay to disagree, but everybody in the whole world doesn't know you, black man, have disagreed with me, black woman.
Exactly.
When you have a problem with Kelly Monique K. Park Quinton, come see me.
We're going to talk about that name in a minute.
No, we're not. That's my name.
You talking about what's it? I didn't know about the middle part. We gonna have to get that breakdown.
That's the name I had until I was in 5th grade, and then 6th grade I became Quentin.
Oh, okay. But no, right. But that's what.
But when you have a problem, if somebody has a problem with Keith, if another black man has a problem with Keith Saunders, then they need to come and have a sit down and have an intelligent communication with Keith Saunders. What you don't do is blow me up on Facebook. What you don't do is blow me up on Instagram. What you don't do is blow me up to everybody else in the world but me. When you have a problem with me, please talk to me.
Bro, talk to me. Be quiet.
Turn your mic on. Turn your mic on.
Turn your mic on. Yeah, you talk about
I forgot to turn this motherfucker back on. I had to turn it off.
He was yelling at the kiddies.
I know.
I
had to, because they was continually at the door, especially grandson. So I just had to send them to the front and tell them to just don't come back here.
We about to wrap up in a minute. I just want to get your thoughts on some things.
Oh my God. Go ahead.
Man, I you know what? Hold on. I gotta.
It's hard out here, man.
I had to take a hint of sip. But I have so many feelings. I have so many feelings about this. From so many different. I can't say from different angles, but from about different aspects.
Right.
I feel as if, and I've said this, and I will continually say this. I feel as if Agent Orange is playing us like a fucking fiddle without a fucking beat, and we dancing, and we don't even fucking get it.
I can agree with that.
Playing us like a fiddle with no beat, and we dancing, but we don't even get it.
Yeah.
I hope that sinks in for some people. I appreciate those white American people, the mayor of Atlanta, a couple different officers.
Mayor Minnesota.
Mayor Minnesota.
Not Minnesota, Minneapolis. I'm sorry,
Minneapolis.
He said, "Yo, why they not in jail yet?"
I appreciate the white man who it was a white female anchor lady. for those who have spoken up and they've spoken the truth, because especially the white males who say, for them to take their ownership. They may not have done it, but know and recognize it. They have to, for this problem to get fixed. We as Black people, there's a power in us that we still can't see. There is a power that we have in us that we still can't see. And that's what, honestly, I think is what makes them so, because they know what it is, but we don't see it. And it may be because the fact that we were the originals. And I don't even want to get into that debate. But
you know what? And I'm with you with the fact that they don't see it, but it's just like
we don't see it.
It's so much.
It's time.
When you look at our history, it's so much that's been
we've
on
been
my
dealing
shoulder,
with this
on my mother's shoulder, on my grandmother's shoulder. It's just that at a point you don't even want to see it anymore.
The crazy thing is, and we say more just Black America, but we often realize now. Fortunately, a lot of those islanders stayed on the islands till America became better. But how many of those islanders migrated to America? The motherfucker Christopher Columbus, they landed in the Bahamas first.
They did. Yes, they did.
Okay. That shit started there too. That shit was in there, Jamaica, so this shit wasn't, it was America and the islands up under it that was affected by it.
Right.
Us in America, we speak about the slaves, but guess what? In Jamaica, they were slaves.
Yeah.
In the Bahamas, they were slaves. In Puerto Rico, they were slaves.
Right.
We don't speak on that. That's something else we have to. But those white America that's taking a substance, thank you. We need more of them to do it because they know those who have spoken up and taken accountability, I respect and realize because they understand. Some of them are understanding that they have to get the point out to the rest of their people. Although it shouldn't be a separacy of people. Because how about this? Blood type don't have a color.
They don't.
How about that? Blood type don't have a color. Take it all the way deep one time.
And how many white people, when they discovered that they were going to have a transfusion from a Black person, said I would
how many have denied it?
I'd rather die.
And that's the sad fucking truth. You spoke on Emmett Till, a major, big thing that spread countrywide. It became a part of Black history thing. So how long has this been going on? Public execution of Blacks. Told you, reason I stopped wearing Timberlands. And will not give them any of my money by any of this. Because that tree, when they came out with the pair with the hang that was their blatant, that was their, fuck Tommy Hilfiger said, I don't like Black people wearing my stuff. Fuck that. That's one thing. For you to put out a pair of your apparel, knowing that the main motherfuckers who gonna buy your apparel with an extra pair with a hang noose, and then you yourself slipped out that information about what the tree stood for. It came from the company. When you think about the protests and all the looting that's going on right now, again, I spoke on earlier, the fact that the guy said here just did jury duty. There was no bricks, no construction going on in the area, and conveniently, it's a pile of bricks out there. The video of the officer covered the fuck up, breaking the motherfucking windows in Minnesota. Trump's statement.
They up there spraying Black Lives Matter on shit that nobody even. Why would you? They spraying Black Lives Matter on, and then the Black Lives Matter girl walk up to us and said, "We didn't ask you to spray paint that on there.
Black
You're
people.
a fucking op, is what you are. You are the fucking ops. We see you."
So those who are in those that are in those ground zeros, because I applaud those who are out there. I applaud because we've seen videos as well, and people put yours up there who are very reliable. That you see the white people making barricades between the Black folk and the police.
Ain't that a bitch?
Body shields.
Ain't that a bitch? Don't that show? Wait, before you even go ahead. I applaud that too. Don't that show the world that we live in, and exactly what we saying is fucking correct. It's so correct that a barricade of white people can stand in front of us and
It's
they know,
privilege.
and they know they protected. They know they protected.
Here's the
So
kicker.
the ones that do it, thank you, because you showing the world what it is. They doing this over in Germany right now.
Yes,
over in Germany, they show
CNN building.
Yep,
The CNN building. The other night when I text y'all to turn on,
I was
CNN,
watching it. So
I'm watching it, and they're breaking the window down.
Mm-hmm.
Got the police inside the building, just in case anything pops off any further than what it is. It really wasn't that many black people close, from what I can see, close to the glass breaking it. Right? Because it was a dude with a skateboard.
Right.
Another dude, another skateboard.
Yo,
right?
And almost
it was
every
a guy
fucking loot joint
there.
is somebody with a skateboard. Even with the cop cars, with the different joints with the cop cars, it's always been somebody with a skateboard. Every fucking video.
And I'm sitting there like, yo, I could take this one or two ways. One, he off in the situation.
Right.
Or two, I'll break it for you because they not going to shoot me.
And that's exactly what it is.
Two, I saw a dude stand there. And this is, we always watching at the same time. We know this is 100% live. The revolution is being televised.
Yes, it is.
White dude stood there. I saw 4 to 5 red dots on his body.
Yes, I did. And not one.
The 4 to 5 red dots on his body.
The red dots.
Not one became blood.
The red dots are the guns. The green dots are the tasers. And they shot a taser at him, and he yanked it out and pulled it away. And then I guess when he pulled it, one of the spars got his finger, and he walked over, and a black man helped him wrap his hand.
Pour water on it, and then somebody on CNN was like, yo, what are they doing?
Yeah.
Are they getting ready to light something? And he's like, no, I think he cut his hand, and they're just fixing it up, and I hope that's just what it is. And I'm like, yo, it's obvious that's what it is.
Because they're building
because you can see
narrative.
all the blood on his hand.
And that's
building their own narrative.
And when you have LeVar Burton cussing on Twitter,
Read Rainbow cussing on Twitter.
When you had LeVar Burton said, "Don't fuck with me today. I'm not in the mood."
Ooh, take a look. It's in a book. Nigga.
He said something in response to someone.
Yeah.
And I guess they said something back, and he said, "Don't fuck with me today. I'm not in the mood."
Take a look.
You get the person that was helping us read and introduce us to new types of books.
Yep. Because this is
when you got Kunta cussing.
Yep, when Kunta cussing.
Yeah.
Dog.
And see, that's that. I don't with the fact, and there's pages, and some people can say it's bullshit, but when I know people who are literally always out. They're in car clubs. They're part of the community, so they always. For certain members that's always out. PROs are almost always out whenever any fucking thing is going down.
Yeah.
And they're going live and they're taking videos so motherfuckers always know what the fuck is going on in their cities and roundabout. Yeah. All right? And of course, so they're posting this. And so you see, I'm mad, I'm frustrated. They want it to be fuck shit up. They wanted to be somewhat similar to a Rodney King situation.
Right.
Another thing to think about, right? Does this not in some ways remind you of Nazi Germany? The blacks and the Jews? The blacks and the Jews?
They've been comparing Trump to Hitler since before.
It's not a
so again, another way I'm trying to point out the fact of Trump playing fiddle. And we dancing to no beat, but we not getting it. And we in the mix.
Yeah.
Please be. Killer Mike's video is probably one of the best. If you see,
that was great. He
spoke. Some of it live, but I gotta watch the whole thing.
Spoke from the heart. Watch the whole thing. Yeah.
And you know
from the heart.
What DJ Jazzy Jeff was doing, like a a mix with
Yeah.
Marvin Gaye's song, Stevie Wonder, you know, all
Yeah.
those.
It's just
I've been
what's
thinking of
going
just
on,
doing
and
a positive.
he played Mike's speech, and I did hear
Mhm.
some of it because he was
Right.
talking about coming from a police family.
right,
And
right,
how
right.
how white officers didn't want to change in the same dressing room with his uncles and great grandfather, whatever, whatnot, and they had to
Rhino.
change at the YMCA
Yeah.
before they even came to work. So I did hear that part, and I'm definitely gonna go back
No.
and hear
I'm
the whole speech.
gonna tell you how factual that is. Rhino, Keith, you know who Rhino is, my club brother.
Okay,
Rhino,
yeah.
his father is a deceased officer who, as well as grandfather was, who grandfather goes back to those days. He was just down in the mix, close to down Center City yesterday. You know, so he's in. You know, Rhino. You know, we're not. You know, Rhino. All right. So you know, it's. We gotta be smarter.
Yeah. That's one of the reasons why you just have to know you have to know yourself as well. You know yourself as well, because I know I wouldn't.
Hurting.
Right.
I'm mad. I'm aggravated. We witnessed another execution.
Yeah.
Yes, we have to do something.
Like I'm excited.
Also
that
have
my
to.
son is still in the house right now.
The biggest thing. Listen, when I left out yesterday, I told you.
It, he knows. I'm gonna just chill today, and they have an 8 p.m. curfew for Philly tonight anyway. It's just like
I got cussed out for trying to leaving out the house last night. 20 minutes out of the house, here goes mom calling me. Are you not home? No, I'm home. I'm not home. I'm had to handle something no. Well, you need to hurry up, get back home because you know what's going. Yes, mom, I know what's going on. I'm going to get back home.
Let me tell you, my godmom called me from California this morning. You already know it's a 3-hour difference.
Yeah.
Damn.
She called me at 9:00 this morning.
6 o'clock. 6
o'clock.
What?
6 o'clock. Wow, 6 o'clock her time. Damn. She
right.
was up.
Yeah. That's my godmom. Okay. Her and my mom been best friends since they was 13 years old.
Okay. Yep.
She said, Kelly. Are you okay? I'm like, yeah, I'm fine. She's like, is Caleb okay? Right. And I'm like, yeah, like, and my man, I'm getting terrified, like her line of questioning, like, wow, what's wrong?
Yeah.
And she's like, I saw everything that's going on in Philly, and I wanted to call and check on y'all.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, oh.
Yeah,
we're okay. It's a lot to deal with, but
we hurting, man.
We hurting. We okay. But the fact is that her and my mom protested.
Yeah.
Girard College. They did some of the walks around. I don't know if she was there, but I know my mom was there.
Right.
Girard College when it was just for white kids, and that's what he wanted. And then they marched to integrate that with Cecil B. Moore. So. Just all the things that
I don't want to run. I don't want to run.
Our parents did to make our lives a little bit better.
Right.
We now have to try and expand on that to make lives for our children a little bit better. But we also have to try to help them and guide them to a better way. So when this happens during their time, they know how to react.
I think I think it's educate, strategize, be smart.
It's a never end.
We gotta educate ourselves so we can educate them.
Exactly.
Listen, y'all. It's a never ending fight. I don't want to, because we can go for another 4 hours or whatnot.
But we gotta pick up our platter. So
we gotta pick up the platter. But
y'all hungry as shit. I should have ordered you. Hey, yo, Ed made platters of the other day. He made brisket joints. Brisket with yellow rice and
oh shit.
Oh man, that joint was popping.
Yep. Sound good. That sound like gimme.
I know, but I want everybody to be safe out there.
Yes.
And to really understanding that this is all this is null and void. If put it like this, if you stop now and let this be the trend of the week, this man died for nothing. And we ain't gonna make that. We ain't gonna let that happen. These people just keep happening, and we're over it. So now this is where the change starts. I got the wrong hand up. There we go.
I believe.
Listen.
I believe.
Mm-hmm.
We're beginning to get a curve for a change.
I believe so too.
I believe because I can't say never before. We've had certain white people who have attempted to speak out for us, but never before have we had the right ones. That we need more to understand and acknowledge.
No, you absolutely.
The power to make it better, unfortunately, is still in their hands.
Yeah.
That's the fucked up shit. Nothing we can tear up shit. From here to Antarctica, but guess what? They're gonna still have more military, and what we have to really realize, no matter how many guns we have in our hoods, we are always be outnumbered, outmanned, outarmed.
Yeah, you're absolutely
We're
right.
not going to win that, even with our brothers in there. What we need is some of our brothers that are in there of their color to, as we are, stand up.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
I mean, take, and that's where the change is gonna come.
Rest in peace, George Floyd.
Rest in peace, George Floyd.
We dedicate this episode to you. We dedicated this episode to everybody that stands on the side of what's right, and on the side and against the injustices that we have been given and that we are being plagued with around the world. Stand with us, unite.
We're not slaves anymore.
Pray.
We are men.
We need more. We need more.
We're all humans. We
need more than just us in this time of need. We need more than just relying on people. Whatever you believe in, whatever higher power you believe in, pray to that higher power that you are protected and that you will look after. And hopefully maybe somebody's heart can be changed. But if not, watch your back, watch your front, watch each other's back, support each other.
Show love to each other.
1,000,000%. Love your black brother. Love your white brother.
Love conquers all.
Yeah.
Love conquers all.
Yep.
Love conquers all. The Bible tells us love conquers all.
A young man was on Facebook, and he looked like he was Caucasian. He may have been mixed. I don't know. He looked like either he was white or he was white and Spanish. Either way, he said he was driving down the street and he saw these 2 young black men being pulled over by 4 police officers.
Right.
He said he drove 2 more blocks, parked his car, and walked back up until everything was settled.
Yep.
Thank you. Because that's all we need is somebody to stop. Because the last time we had somebody shot in a car, I was driving down the street and I saw a guy get pulled over near the post office near my house. And I pulled over to the side until I saw him drive off. Because I may not be able to do something, but I can be a witness.
Yep. And that, you know what the whole thing about that is too, is that no matter if it's somebody that's displaying hatred or not, once they see that you are loved by somebody, they back off.
That somebody is concerned.
Right, because hatred fears love. Hatred doesn't stand up against love. It doesn't. It never does. It can't. That because it's hatred is fear, because hatred is born out of fear. So what happens is that's the conduit for it. So it's a coward. People that hate, that's cowardism. You're a coward when you hate.
Hatred and racism are born out of what the term nigger really means. Ignorance and fear.
Yeah, absolutely.
Ignorance and fear is what racism is.
Absolutely.
Ignorance and fear is what breeds the hate.
Nope.
And
ignorance and fear is what breeds that hate.
I'm pretty proud of our country, not so much of everything burning down, but the fact that I want to say more states than not had a protest somewhere in their state. I saw a map not too long ago, earlier when we started recording, where it may have been 9 or 10 states that didn't have a protest yet, because these are all just starting.
Right.
So, because even Pennsylvania wasn't listed to have had a protest yet, so they had to be as of Friday.
Right.
But so many states, and I can't say it's the whole state, but at least probably the biggest cities
The
in
capital,
the state,
possibly the
right,
city capital.
have stood up and said something, had shown
Because
something.
I'm pretty sure
has
Philadelphia is
did
not the only
something.
city. They had a protest in Chester.
Oh no, God, Philadelphia,
even-
Pittsburgh area,
Yeah.
like, because me and Keith got fam, school fam in Pittsburgh and Erie, and so all those lives were on my page, and Erie is a small city.
Right.
Erie is not huge at all, and they burning shit in the area, but the anger has got to get out. Why we have those?
I understand the
those
fact
rooms,
of material shit, because the materials things, all the material things that have been burnt, even the shit that has been looted, all that shit is materialistic things. They can all and will be replaced 9 times out of 10 by insurance.
Right, but you can't.
Those lives that have been lost.
You cannot
come back.
You can't bring George Floyd back.
And beyond the ones who have passed, we have to keep also remembering those who have not passed, just were victims of police brutality or excessive force because of racism, because of ignorance, fear, and hatred.
Understood.
So we need to stop the cycle.
So, the last thing I'm going to say is one of the posts that I saw, which hit hard, is you're lucky we just burning stuff down and we're not looking for revenge.
Damn right. That's how I feel. Damn right. So, on behalf of my constituents, thank you for listening to Spotify listeners, the Apple Podcast listeners, the Google Podcast listeners, Stitcher listeners, the Anchor listeners, the YouTube viewers.
We see you.
Make sure you get at us on IG at Mr_Know-It-All_pod, Facebook page, Mr. Know-It-All Podcast fan page, and send all your stories, because we're gonna get deeper into it. We're gonna get deeper into it in future episodes. We want to hear your stories. Send it over to mrknowitallpod@gmail.com. That's mrknowitallpod@gmail.com. On behalf of my constituents, thank y'all.
Yes,
thank y'all for bearing with us today.
33rd episode.
Yup. Ruffy Hendricks.
I am
the diva.
Mad Mama.
Win at all times.
I am Mr. Know-It-All.
Yes.
I might end it a little bit different, but I'm gonna tell you one thing.
You gonna tell us the story about love and hate?
Yeah, but no. What I'm gonna do is I'm probably not gonna put my little half-baked situation. You know what?
Yeah, no.
You know what? No.
What?
I'm
We still gonna half-bake it?
I'm gonna aim this at the murdering ass cops in the world.
Right.
I'm gonna aim this one. This one, you're gonna get the regular closer from this, but this is with vitriol in my fucking voice.
For those murderous cops and those white people who are too blind to understand or see what's really going to fuck on.
I want you to understand this. You cannot forget.
Ever.
Always.
Ever.
Motherfucking remember.
And always remember.
My